Hello, my name is Terry Ronayne, the principal here at Roosevelt Elementary School. We'd like to take this opportunity to show you what some additions or renovations to the Roosevelt building would do to improve the education here at Roosevelt. We'd first like to start by welcoming you in and having you see our current process for parents and visitors to gain access to our building. When you go into the main room, you can see that we have to push a button to be buzzed in by the secretarial staff. And then once you're in the original doors, the building is open completely to you and you are not required to go directly to the office.
Hi, my name is Karen Borwich. I'm a secretary at Roosevelt Elementary School. I would like to suggest a few recommendations for renovating or expanding this facility. Renovating the entry would maintain the welcoming atmosphere here at Roosevelt while increasing safety and security. Currently, the office door blocks the view of the entry doors. An improved entryway design would address the following concerns. Most important improvement would be the elimination of visitors walking past the office without signing in and going directly to the student areas. Oftentimes, the secretaries have to leave their posts to chase down visitors that bypass the office and that did not sign in. Concern that would be eliminated is the tardy students that arrive to school. They bypass the office and they walk directly to the class without obtaining a tardy slip.
Hello, I'm Amy Zazaski, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Roosevelt. I have been here at Roosevelt. This will be my 18th year of teaching. I started in 1999 after graduating college, and I have spent 12 years in first grade, and then this will be my 6th year teaching kindergarten here at Roosevelt. I would like to make some recommendations to the board about how renovations to the school and adding on could make the school experience better for our kindergarten kids, and as well as impact the fine arts for the older grades by having those in one area. When I first started teaching kindergarten, we had started the all-day program, and it was originally meant, this area was originally set up for half-day kindergarten. And so it was thought that down the road, when it went to all-day kindergarten, that 2 kindergarten classrooms would be added on down here to the kindergarten wing so that all 4 kindergarten classrooms could be together. Instead of that happening, we have 2 kindergarten classrooms here in the kindergarten area, and then 2 have been moved down into what was originally meant to be the fine arts part of the building. Ideally, it would be great to have all 4 kindergartens in one area because this is their first formal school experience. Some have had preschool, many have not. So for a lot of kids, this is their first formal school experience and they're new to all of it. And to switch kids around between the 4 kindergarten teachers, it's just not really even possible because there is such a distance between the 2 the 2 different areas of kindergarten. Some are down here and some are the other end of the building. Also down here in the kindergarten pod, the classrooms were set up with bathrooms in them that are the right size for kindergartners, and it's easy for them to go right back and use it. The 2 other classrooms that were made into kindergarten rooms, one was a music room and one was originally a deaf and hard of hearing room. They don't have bathrooms in it. They don't have adequate storage space. The kids are having to go out and down the hall to go to the bathroom. That's often scary for the little ones. They don't want to go by themselves. The closet that would have been for my classroom was taken and made into an office for our ESL person. So our space for storage is limited. Our EL person is in what was meant to be a closet. So while we try to do a lot of inclusion and she's in the classroom a lot, there are times where she wants to work with kids one-on-one or 2-on-1, and she doesn't have a good quiet area to do that. That closet space is very small. My first 12 years here at Roosevelt were spent teaching first grade. And in those 12 years, I saw some significant changes happen in programming here for our students. What should have been the office area or the pod area for for first grade is now a special ed classroom that 2 special ed teachers share. And when that area originally was taken away from first grade for a pod area, it was supposed to be a temporary fix because there were so many kids in first grade that they needed to add a 5th section. So they turned the pod into a classroom, which was never meant to be a classroom, which isn't ideal for two reasons. One, first grade has no place for common meeting area to get all the first graders together to do programming or to pull out kids into small groups, which is what that area was meant to do.
Hi, my name is Brenda Gare, and I have been teaching music for the Faribault Public Schools for 23 years. I was one of the teachers that was involved in designing Roosevelt Elementary. Part of the design process for Roosevelt was to have a fine arts wing where we would have music, art, and gym all in the same section of the building. With the addition of kindergarten all day, every day, we needed space for those classrooms. The music room was moved to a classroom that is not intended to be a music classroom. It is half the size of a classroom and not built soundproof. So when music is produced, it disturbs the classrooms and other activities that the kids are involved in around the area.
And this will be my 6th year teaching at Roosevelt Elementary. And this is the space where I work in daily with my first grade students. There's a little nook behind me, and I work here with my students on a daily basis when I work in small group time. In the past, at the beginning, our building consisted of 11% ESL students, and now we're over 30% ESL students this next year. I teach ESL here. And the reason I work in this small space is because it's one of the spaces in the building where I actually have space, and it's a quiet area for the students to work. I do have an office, but I share my office space with another ESL teacher who's full-time, and I also share my office space with a liaison that's here part-time. And so between another EL teacher and a liaison, it's hard to manage an office space with students coming in and out and other people working in the office. So this is a space that I've designed to use, and I bring out my easel and I have the students sit on the floor with me. As our building has grown in population, one of the concerns is that we've started with 2 EL teachers at the beginning, and now we're up to 4 total ESL teachers within the building. And we also have a total of 15 specialists within the building that do services in pull-out time working with small group students. Because of our high population needs, this has caused a problem with lack of space and a lack of space to work with our students in a quiet area. Another area in our building that other ESL teachers use are pod areas, which is in the outside area of the classrooms. And this is also a difficult space. I've taught there in the past, and I have other EL colleagues that teach there now. And because we don't have doors on our rooms, it causes a lot of sound within the classrooms to come out to the pod area, and it causes a lot of distractions for our ESL learners.
I'm Dan Honegraaff, been in the district 20 years with the custodial department. Been at the Roosevelt School for 2 years, and I've noticed with shortage of space in the building and the classroom the kids need more room. On the custodial end, we have lost vital storage areas. One spot was the new smart room where we have lost a place to keep our risers and platforms for the music concerts.
There are just a few more areas that I'd like to bring to your attention before the conclusion of this video. Another area of need in the building is for orchestra. Our orchestra program shares this space with our occupational therapy department, It's a very small space, and when the orchestra has the entire orchestra together, they're unable to perform in that small area and are moving out into the hallway area. Another example of the space issues within our building is that our ESL cultural liaisons are housed in the lunchroom or workroom for staff, which can be confidentiality issues. Besides all the services that are being provided to our students, Roosevelt also houses 2 district-wide programs. First of all, the Kids World program is housed within our building, and their storage space as well as their district office space are in our building. Secondly, the SODEXO food service program is housed within the Roosevelt building as well. We hope that this video gives you some insight on what additions or renovations to the Roosevelt building would do to improve education for our students. During the 17 years of this building's existence, we have seen a change in the demographics of this building, as well as changes in service to students, not to mention an increased focus on safety and security. These 3 issues make these improvements necessary. Thank you so much for your consideration.